Okay, one.
You're so nervous. Okay.
Okay,
We're all good. Okay, shake it off. Okay, ready. One, two, three, clap.
Hi everyone, welcome to Ragtag, the place for
That's how a robot sounds like. A human who's pretending to be a robot.
Welcome to Ragtag, the place for bites and banter. My name is Victoria, I'm a solutions engineer.
I'm Natasha, a software engineer.
I'm Saloni, software developer.
And today we'll be talking about leadership, female leadership in general. But because my experience is more towards tech, so
we all are in tech, I guess.
There would be a little bit of tech. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the reason why I kind of proposed this topic to you both is because I'm currently in a kind of a team lead role in my company. So I'm facing a lot of basically questions that I have about female leadership. Mm-hmm. I noticed that being a leader, a woman leader in general, it's very how do I say, it's subtle and difficult. It's a subtly complex problem.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mind's not like well organized.
All good. Yeah, this is a very difficult and complex issue to talk about, and I think a lot of women also don't dare to really speak a lot about it for fear of being cancelled. But I'm glad you brought this topic up to want to talk about it, because I think we're in quite a good position to chat about it quite openly and honestly. And I think you are right. The differences are very subtle. Like in general, yes, it is mostly equal. Like when we're talking about male and female leadership, it should be equal.
It should be.
But I think finding the words to describe these subtle nuances is hard. So I wanted to ask you, so far, what are these subtle nuances you've been feeling? And you try your best to put it in words.
Okay. So first is like how people assume if you're not at a certain age as a woman, that means you're not that capable. So since I've in this new job, a lot of people, like coworkers, especially males one, would be like, how old are you? Like they keep asking my age just to figure out like why am I in this position that's above them. And there's been a lot of I remember when I first entered, like the first 3 months, I feel I'm being like silently observed a lot. Like people are evaluating me every second, every decision or every words, every behavior or gesture I make, they would be silently observing. And that would accumulate to be like a part of my impression as a leader. And sometimes it's a hit or miss. Like some people would be nice and would respect me as their leader, but some would. It's very subtle, and the thing is, I'm not even sure if I read people right sometimes, but I can sense like a little bit of maybe because it's either age or either gender. I don't know which one, right? Or maybe it's nothing. It's just them as a person. They just see me as like, oh, you're not this person that I want to see as my leader. Right. So I don't know. It's very hard. That's why I say it's very complex, and that's the best way I can put it is people will assume. And
I think first I want to get the white elephant out of the room. We are not like extreme feminists here or whatever. We're just people who are experiencing these things in real life, and we're trying to find the words to talk about it, but also very conscientious that we have to be very tactful and polite. But your feelings are very valid, and I want to first say that this is a very objective observation, that you feel you're being observed more, that you feel like people seem to judge you a little bit differently, and there's always like for myself, I also get judged that way. Not that I don't think I'm really like that young, but even the appearance of looking young does factor in, and that Venn diagram of you say you didn't know if it's age or your gender, but being a young looking or young woman in a leadership position does affect. And I would table it down to heuristics and just statistics. Statistically, there aren't many, firstly, women in tech. It's just, I don't know what the statistic is, but it's probably 15% or lesser. Secondly, women in leadership positions as a whole, also much fewer than men. And you put these things together, people are going to take a second look and judge when they see a woman on the table who is supposed to be like a woman in tech and a woman in a leadership position. It's actually, the first judgment always comes as like, are you sure? Because I've never seen that before. And when I first encountered that, like in the past, when I used to enter a room, I wouldn't command the same presence as a male counterpart when it came to my job. But I realized like people don't need to judge so quickly. Rather, it's your brain sending you the signals that this isn't like usual. And I think what this tells us is that we need more role models in when it comes to women in leadership positions. I mean, we are in a women community where we try to spotlight more of these women. But even if there are more women in leadership positions, I feel like a lot of them don't put the spotlight on themselves to talk about it more, to show people out there that they exist. So very naturally, there is this very quick first judgment that oh, you're a woman, you're probably not the engineer in the room, oh, you're probably not the leader in the room. And then when you are, the questions in your heads start coming about. So that's one thing I've observed for that. Just want to say again, your feelings are very valid. I felt that too. But I wanted to like ask Saloni about your perspective on that. Like for you, not only are you in a more senior position in your company as an engineer, you're also, actually both of you are the co-directors, but you were like an
Senior director.
A more senior co-director. Victoria just joined as like a co-director for Women Devs. But in your experience, how would you talk about these subtle differences of being like a woman in a leadership position, specifically in tech, I guess, since that's our environment?
I mean, I also get there are those subtle differences, but I didn't really think too much about the differences. I just tried to be myself mostly, and one of like the differences that I usually see is confidence levels. At least in myself, I do. In general, my confidence levels are usually lower than usual people. And for example, if there's like a meet of all the tech community directors at a place, you would see that firstly there would be fewer women already, and the women who are there, which is probably me and like my co-directors, will be a little bit more lower confidence levels than the others and the other tech bros out there. That's the difference, and I'm very aware of that when that happens, that okay, usually tech bros are a little bit more higher confident. I don't know why, but they are I don't think too much about it. It is there, it is like that.
It's the reality.
It is the reality, and also I am very aware that I am representing, like there are women out there looking up to me as I would, if she can do it, I should be able to do it, you know, those kind of feelings. That's what I have when I see someone out there above me. So for them, I actually do put in some effort into like, you know what, I'm gonna be a bit more confident today because people are watching me. And I would like to be and I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I try to copy the tech bros. Like I'll try to take their confidence levels in, if they're like oh yeah, I always get job offers and always do this and do that. I don't lie, I usually don't get job offers. Like my LinkedIn has requests coming in, but they're not job offers, they are job interviews. But tech bros would say it as, I get job offers every day, you know? So there are differences. I feel like women, we are a bit more honest, maybe. I would call that honesty.
Perhaps it's not just honesty, but just like, we're quite encultured to be humble, to be less assertive. That is a cultural fact that we can't run away from for a variety of different reasons that I'll leave the people who are researching into sociology and gender things to like talk about. But that is a reality that we have to face, that we are faced with, because if as women we are known to be like this level of humility, let's say, and then we kind of like have to push ourselves a bit more to be more assertive. When we are more assertive than the average woman, that's when people start making comments also and saying like, why are you so assertive? Why are you so aggressive? I've gotten that comment so many times from my bosses. But when I think about it, and then I think about another male counterpart who's doing the same thing, if not more, I realize like, why isn't that person being judged the same way as I was just judged? And I realize it's because like across the board, the average, the expectations, you know, the average is lower for women in terms of like, oh, we're on average a little bit less confident than men, a little bit less assertive. So when a woman in a leadership position comes out and is more assertive and is more confident, that's when people like pass judgment and they use words like aggressive, they use words like stubborn. Unfortunate reality, I don't really have like a solution except that I am optimistic that this will level out over time, but we have to give it time to level out and equalize as more of women in leadership positions and women in tech rise up and that gender metric does change. But in the meantime, like what you said, you feel accountable to represent as a women role model for the other women who later will look at you and think about like, hey, I can be that person too. And I also hold that in regard when these kinds of things, I experience these things. I think about it again like, okay, I will tolerate those comments for now because I know it is an unfortunate reality that I have to live with. But for me to like come out and be confident, I am being a role model for the next generation of women, or just like somebody slightly younger than me who will feel like, hey, like if she can do it, then I can do it too. Then over time we can level out that, I don't want to call it imbalance, it sounds like a bad thing, but just that natural imbalance that we have right now.
I like it. I want to say that I like how Saloni likes to do this kind of, I don't know what's the right word, like manifestation.
Right? You love to manifest
like she's able to self-assure herself. That's why I actually want to ask you, like, what is your definition of confidence? Because I think you do have inner confidence. It's just more like the way maybe you outwardly portray it may not match your inner confidence, but I feel like you do have confidence. It's quite high. Your self-esteem is quite high. That's why you're able to always give yourself positive words and self-assure yourself. That's like a signal that you believe in yourself. You have high confidence.
I think her confidence is more of like
matching the male counterparts around me.
Like a very,
because I see them. I've never seen or hardly ever seen a not confident tech bro. So I would say, just a blanket assumption, all of them are pretty confident, so then just matching their confidence levels would make me confident.
You're making them role models, essentially, in that sense, if you think about it that way.
Not a very good role model. I mean, I'm very aware that some of the confidence some of them should not be as confident as they are, because like I said, the example, right? Like, don't lie on things, like you're not getting job offers, you are getting job requests. Like things like that. So maybe it's overconfidence at some level, but even matching it closely, like for example, not hesitating when asked a question, or being ready, and like the mannerisms are shows that I'm confident. Those kind of things, like cues.
Cues. I think
standing confidently and things like that
for
also.
Sure. I think in the absence of that true confidence, which is very normal because you don't see other people like yourself, right? I think like this strategy of like emulating the whole like, what if I were a man? What would I say? What would I do? It's an easy way to kind of act that confidence out until you can live up to it.
But also, I've also fallen into a trap. Like one of my friends, she actually highlighted to me when I said this to her, like, oh, I try to act like a man at my work, for example. Like, when I say to act like a man, I mean remove my emotions from things, be very objective, and like have no like feelings, for example. So and that was working out for me until when I explained this to my friend, she was like, but Saloni, why would you act like a man? You are a woman. You're losing that aspect of yourself that makes you a woman. And then I was like, true, I was trying to be someone I wasn't. So now I'm very aware. Like, I take the good parts of what I like in like the male characteristics, but I keep my emotions, my feelings around, because that actually helps me in a lot of ways as well.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with emotions. Like
Yeah.
even I read a book because I was looking for answers. Indra Nui,
Oh, yes.
My Life in Full.
Oh, I don't know that.
So she was
The
Pepsi, yeah.
co-owner. Or
Yeah, CEO. So she
CEO.
was the CEO of Pepsi, and basically she said that there's nothing wrong with leading with empathy. It's something that only women leaders can do. So like what you mentioned, don't subtract it out of who you are. If you are naturally an empathetic person, then you'll be an empathetic leader, and it's okay. Like there's strength to everything. There's unique strengths to different leadership styles. So overall, my whole experience on this so far is I slowly come to my own conclusion that there must be a balance between assertiveness, agreeableness, and empathy. It's like, in general, if I'm not in a leadership position, I don't really like speak up or anything. Like I'm quite an introvert.
I know all three of us have to. No, maybe not you, but the two of us have to go back into our.
No, it's me too. Like I think you guys have this like view that I've been born like this. I think it's not. It's like my natural environment that I've realized that in order to achieve like what I want to achieve, I have to like
Come out of the shell.
yeah.
and-
I am like quite like an introverty like person at home.
all
like,
three of
I'm
us
just
will actually
really-
go back to our shells after this.
Yeah. It's just that like very early on, I was kind of like forced to face the reality that I was often the only woman in the room for a variety of factors, like my industry, and then like my vocation, and then also like the things I do in general just lands me in this position where I'm the only person that looks like me, kind of thing. But yeah, I think all in all, like because this episode is coming to an end, I just want to clarify to our audience, we might not have a lot of the right words to use to describe our experiences, and a lot of the things that we say might not sound very quote unquote politically tactful, and I'm also concerned that we might be cancelled, and that's why a lot of women try not to vocalize their experiences. But I hope you will give us the empathy and kindness for us as we delve into these harder topics, as we try to find words to process these experiences. And also to a lot of our wonderful male viewers out there, just know we're not bashing you at all. Like we are here understanding that the reality is that we work in an industry where the gender numbers are just slightly imbalanced, not slightly imbalanced, it's just a reality. And we're trying to find ways to firstly emulate a lot of, like Saloni said, good characteristics that that men in our workplace like showcase, but we're also trying very hard not to let that subtract from ourselves, like Victoria mentioned. And finding this balance is very hard. And we're also very aware that not all men are confident, not all men like love public speaking and stuff like that. We know there are men out there who also struggle with esteem issues, confidence issues. If anything, I think we're more asking for tips, advice, answers maybe. Perspectives. And I'm looking forward to actually do more episodes like this. I think we've been hesitant to do so because it is a very tricky topic to navigate. But I trust in our audience that they are compassionate and kind and know that we are just trying to find the right words to describe.
I would like to also apologize if this is real anyone. It's not our fan, it's just what we feel. We're trying to put things into words. We might have used very strong words, but it's not what we mean exactly. Do let us know in the comments if you want to clarify anything or something.
Yeah, and of course, like ladies in the audience out there, tell us about your experiences too. And that will also validate our experiences indirectly because this is our little community here. As always, this was Ragtag, the place for bites and banter, and I guess now for more vulnerable topics. And as always, we'll see you in the next episode. Please remember to like, follow, and subscribe. And did I miss out anything?
Turn on notifications.
Turn on notifications. Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Even actually on the way to here, I was texting somebody like, what if I'm awkward, you know? It's been a while.
I'm Natasha, not a solutions engineer, a software engineer. I will cut that out.
Saloni, software developer.
She just said Saloni, software developer. Like it's a...
I think in my mind I was imagining my...
yeah, that's what I
Saloni,
was
software
thinking.
developer.
Why are we so all of nerves?